Hi. So yes, the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup has started and the inaugural match is just over between Al Ahly SC, the Egyptian club, which are the African version of Champions League winners from their continent, against Inter Miami, the club from the host country USA, which boasts of the presence of the maestro Leo Messi. So a lot was expected out of this game. There was a lot of speculation, a lot of excitement, and Leo Messi fans from all across the globe were watching this game. But then it turned out to be a damn squib. It turned out to be a disappointing game because both the clubs played pretty defensive and listless football, and the game ended with a 0-0 draw, with both the teams sharing a point. But the people who have general knowledge or have an understanding of how big tournaments happen, they would be able to understand the logic or the rationale behind such a listless performance in the first game or the kickoff game. The reason for that is that when two teams step in to play the first game of a big tournament, they are generally expected to be a little conservative and defensive because the too much of limelight and the scanner is on them because it's the kickoff game, and they don't like to start on a losing note, and which would put a lot of pressure on the remaining league games for them to qualify if they have any hope for qualification for the knockout stage. So they would always prefer a conservative game and a draw and a shared point to the risk of losing all the 3 points if they lose. So I think that was what play between the two clubs, the Egyptian club of Al Ahly and Inter Miami, and it was reflected in the performance. So both the clubs might not be too thrilled by their performance, but would be relieved that they have managed to pick up a point so that they are very much in contention for qualifying for the knockout stage with the remaining league games in place. So now let's come to the overall club competition or the FIFA Club World Cup per se and try to understand the rationale behind it. It is not the first time that this competition has been launched by FIFA, though a lot of people may be under that impression or would be confused, thinking there is so much hype and hoopla about this or watching it. No, it's just that it has been revamped and rechristened and represented, and it looks like an inaugural FIFA Club World Cup. But the fact is FIFA Club World Cup was always there. It was there in an unofficial form before 2000 in the form of Intercontinental Cup, which was always played every year between the winners of either European Cup or the next format called the Champions League winners from Europe versus the Copa Libertadores winners from South America, because these two club competitions from these two continents, Europe and South America, are always considered the most prestigious and the strongest kind of club competition. So it was almost assumed that this Intercontinental Cup played between the two champions club would throw an unofficial Club World Cup champion, and it used to be considered that way, even though the name was not officially given to them as the World Cup champion or the FIFA Club World Cup champion. So in 2000, finally FIFA launched their own FIFA World Championship, Club World Championship, and it continued for till 2005 along with the Intercontinental Cup in parallel. So there were two events which are parallelly going on, and in 2005, ultimately 2005 was the year when Intercontinental Cup merged with the FIFA Club World Championship, and then it became only one championship, and the winner was considered as the unofficial or official, whatever you say, as the real world champion of among the clubs. Then in 2017, the name was coined as FIFA Club World Cup champion, and then that was given to the winners of every year's annual winners with a certificate and a club. So from FIFA Club World Championship, it turned into a real FIFA Club World Cup in 2017, and all the past winners were retrospectively acknowledged as the FIFA Club World Champion. Now in 2023, this competition ceased to exist because it was an annual event and it was a much smaller event. Now from 2023, FIFA decided to hype it up a little bit, to make it more grand and to make it more bigger. So they launched the FIFA Club World Cup as a 32 team event starting from 2025, and they would decide a host country, and that host country would host it, and then there would be 8 groups of 4 teams each, and then 2 top teams from each group will qualify to the round of 16 or pre-quarter final, and then they would be top teams. The winners would go to the quarterfinals, then the semi-finalists will be decided, and then the final would be played. So more or less like the FIFA World Cup for the nations till the last 2022 edition. That was the same format which is being now played out, or is going to be played out in this FIFA Club World Cup, which would be held now in every 4 years, just like a FIFA Nations World Cup. So now the next one would be held in 2029. So 2025 is that first FIFA Club World Cup in its revamped version, not as a competition. So this time also there are 32 countries and 32 teams, and this representation or quota is like this. There are 12 from Europe because it's the most dominant league, then 6 from South America, 4 from CONCACAF, 4 from Africa, 4 from Asia, 1 from Oceania, and 1 from the host team, host nation. That's how the 32 teams have come. The first game has just been over between Al Ahly of Egypt and Inter Miami, though there is some controversy about Inter Miami getting the nod to play this in this edition, because the MLS, which should be the official championship to decide the entry, the MLS champions are LA Galaxy or Los Angeles Galaxy, but Inter Miami ended the regular season with maximum points and they got the nod, and it has raised eyebrows all across the globe, especially in US. And the rumor is that FIFA wanted to push Inter Miami because of the marketability, because of presence of Lionel Messi. So Leo Messi's name sells. FIFA wanted to maximize their revenue, and they wanted to hype this tournament, and they wanted to create a buzz. So they knew assured success would require Messi's presence. How could they have a FIFA Club World Cup in this revamped version without Messi being there? So the murmurs are there that FIFA did it deliberately and tried to create a logic to bring in Inter Miami so that Messi would be there and the fan interest would be at the high. So there are some controversy, but one hopes that Inter Miami and Messi do justice to their tag and they don't let down themselves or FIFA ultimately. So they should at least advance to knockout stage and show a great performance to justify their presence. So it is expected to be a tight competition, but then there are also some real question marks being raised about FIFA's effort to flog a dead horse or try to kill the hen that has been laying golden eggs, because people are aware that now football has become too much a marketing gimmick. It has exhausted players to no end. Players are getting affected mentally and physically, because on an average a top player from a top club is ending up playing around 60 games, because around 34 to 38 league games for their club, then another 10 to 12, 15 games for in the domestic competition, various competitions they play, and then there are friendly international games, they represent their country, then there is a UEFA Nations League or a World Cup qualifier, and then there is a Champions League, then there is a Europa League, then there is a Conference League, and if those were not enough, now a FIFA Club World Cup with 32 teams, which would require a maximum of 7 more games for a player who is desperately wanting some breathing space and some relaxation before the next season starts. So how justified it is, how good it is for the mental and physical condition of the top-notch players who are playing under so much stress and physical strain is going to be found out. There have been a lot of criticism against FIFA, but FIFA is not bothered. They want to maximize the returns from a game which is the most popular, so they are going ahead without giving a damn to all this criticism. So only time will tell whether this is going to be a success or not. Of course, this year there has been some talks that that FIFA had to slash the ticket prices by 15% because of lack of fan interest for this competition in US. Also, there have been talks that financially it was not turning out to be very lucrative in terms of broadcast rights. So now major regions have got a DAZN has got the broadcast rights as a website for a lot of regions, including even India and other countries. So there has not been any mainstream broadcasting channels which have bid for it with the kind of money that FIFA expected. But then a Saudi Arabian conglomerate has pumped in $1 billion at the last minute to make it profitable and to keep it running. So this time FIFA has no trouble, but one has to see whether it is a teething problem of an inaugural edition and things are going to turn rosy from the next edition in 2029, or it is going to struggle. So only time will tell, but FIFA is confident, and for the sake of football and FIFA and for the competition. Let's hope this picks up and this will reach a high which we all want it to, and it will become a prestigious tournament.